So I've noticed that there have been more than one, posts in the group in the past week or so. And also in the Academic Women's Writing Collective, we've been going through the same kind of part of the semester where things start to really feel piled up. We feel kind of ganged up on. We feel like there's too many things going on and we're never going to make it to the end or we're never going to get all the things checked off the list. And, this is something that I think on one hand, what I want to say about that is this always happens at this time of the semester. So it's normal in some sense to have your work shift to accommodate different shifts in the semester. So when we plan for that and we think about that ahead of time, it potentially won't feel as overwhelming. If we know that about every time in week, 8 of the semester or right around spring break, we feel like, we're never going to get the grading done. The writing projects are stalled. We're overwhelmed. Okay. So if we know that that's always going to happen, in some sense, we can kind of mentally prepare for it. So what I mean by that is to say like, okay, I'm feeling overworked right now. I'm feeling a lot of stress and pressure from deadlines. And so I want to just reflect on the fact that, academia ebbs and flows and there's peaks and valleys. And right now we are at a peak in terms of workload. So in some sense, it's normal that I'm feeling overwhelmed, right? So that's one kind of aspect of dealing with mid-semester overwhelm. The other one is to say, like, why do we need to be overworked all the time, right? Why do we need to work 24/7? So stressed until we burn out. Why does tenure prep have to feel like that? And just trying to think of like, what are like actual techniques that we can use to stop feeling overwhelmed and overworked all the time, and to corral our work into working hours and not just let it like flow into every hour of the day. And even if we aren't working every hour of the day, often we're thinking about work every hour of the day or thinking about how we're supposed to be working every hour of the day. And this comes from a real culture of overwork. So I think that in academia, we have this belief that if you're not, working 24/7, then you're not dedicated to your work, or that your work isn't your calling, right? And these are messages that we get that are super dangerous and kind of ridiculous messages, right? So we don't expect like even executives of big companies to be thinking about their companies all the time. We expect there to be weekends where we rest and evenings where we rest. But in academia, we have this expectation that we just need to be like busting our butts all the time. And if we aren't doing that, we aren't doing academia correctly. So what I'm trying to do with my teaching and my courses and my programs is to say, actually, no. Actually, we're rejecting this idea that overwork is the only way to do academia and be successful. And instead, what we want to do is learn different techniques, take on different mindsets than the one that says just work your butt off until you explode, and really be able to participate in the academic conversation and do the things we want to do and get tenure and feel secure and happy in our jobs without all the super extra work. So one of the symptoms, the title of this video, right, is how to find time to write. So this is all to say that it's difficult to find time to write when there's so many different things pulling at you, right? There's so many different things going on. There's all the grading, which is 100% my obstacle right now. I struggle a lot with grading. I struggle to get started on grading. Once I get started, I often can finish, but it's like part of my job I really don't like to do. So I, put it off to the last minute, and that's really not fair to the students, right? So that's what I'm struggling with today. So anyway, so we have the grading, we have the committee meetings, we have all the grant writing, and then we have our own writing and publication, which is what we try to talk about in this group, right? So what I want to start out with in this conversation about like how to find time to write. So there's a few kind of rules. One is you don't find time to write by just working more hours. And I'm going to explain why this backfires. Okay. So a lot of times the advice about like, how do I find time to write? So the advice is often wake up earlier in the morning and write before you go to work, or right before your kids wake up, or, spend time in the evening. If you have kids, after your kids go to bed, or after dinner, or in the evening after you've rested somewhat, then try to get an hour of writing in. And here's the problem with that advice from my perspective. And if either of those things work for you, then do it. Like, I'm 100% for like doing what works for you. So when you tell people that what they need to do to write is work more hours, then what you're saying is that writing doesn't deserve to be part of our everyday life. Writing is extra. So, and let me qualify that. What you're saying is that writing doesn't deserve to be part of our everyday working life. It's extra. And what I would like to propose is that writing should be the most important thing in our working life. And we know that it's the most important thing because, we stress out about it all the time. Here's the reasons why it's important. Okay. So writing and publishing has actual monetary payoff when you are an academic. So a couple of ways that it has monetary payoff. So writing and publication in most cases these days is what is going to get you tenure and promotion. So those equal actual increases in your salary over 30 years, right? So let's say your career is 30 years long and you go up for tenure in your 6th year, and I don't know, this varies hugely across institutions, but let's imagine that you make, $500 a month more once you're tenured, right? When you get promoted, that's your raise, right? Congratulations, you can buy extra groceries. That's, right? So then for 24 years, do that math. For 24 years, even if you never got to be, you never go up to full or whatever. I'm getting my calculator out. So for 24 years times 12 months times $500, you're talking about, getting your publications done, and then the result of that getting tenure or promotion, at least, right, depending on your system, has a monetary value of $150,000, potentially. Hold on. It has a monetary value of, $6,000 a year over 24 years. So like $150,000. So and then you add to that other ways that tenure has value. So tenure has value like you get stability. Tenure has value like you get negotiating power and the ability to move and seek a better job with a higher salary or in a better position for your family. And I'm just saying this because, we decenter writing, and then we get this advice like just write at night or just write in the morning before work, which takes writing out of your working day and says, writing, you're extra. But writing is really the thing that's going to get you the job and help you keep the job. So it has a really, really high importance. And I don't think, personally, that it makes sense to push it out of the workday. And it really doesn't make sense to consider it extra. So, so what do you do, right? Because how do you fit it into your workday? So this is a process. Okay. So the process is that you make a series of shifts in how you organize your workday and how you plan out what you're going to teach and how you make your requests for courses and your time schedule and all of those things. And also what you do when you sit down at the desk, when you get to work every day, you basically need to take all of that through a series of like refinement so that you can get writing to be the most important thing that you do. When writing is the most important thing that you do, and writing is the centered thing, which means that you spend your best hours of your day on writing, of your working day, your 9-to-5 day, right? Whatever you consider your working hours to be. When you use the best hours for writing, you're telling yourself, writing is important. Writing is what's going to help me. Writing is not extra. I'm going to use my best energy for this task, as opposed to using your best energy for meetings or even teaching. Because, well, we can get into that later, but let me just kind of focus on this. So what we're talking about is putting writing at the center. And so it's not just a question of how to find time to write. It's more a question of how do you prioritize writing? How do you place writing at the center of everything that you're doing? Because when you do that and you protect your writing and you develop a positive relationship with your writing, all the other things that you have to do, they like fall into place. So if you're writing and publishing, you're going to be a better professor. You're going to be a better teacher in the classroom. If you're writing and publishing, you're more likely to get the grants that you'll need to employ undergraduate researchers and graduate researchers and be a good mentor. If you're writing and publishing, you are getting your voice out into the world, and that gives you confidence when you go into, meetings with the dean or committee meetings and people try to like silence you. You can kind of be like, well, but I'm, the community of academics is saying that I have something to say because they're publishing my stuff. So this is like a really important aspect. Everybody thinks like, I just need time to write. And I want to say, no, you don't need time to write. You need to put your writing time back into your day and make it the most important thing that you do. And so by that, I mean, you give it your best hours of energy in your workday. Now, this is a process, as one can imagine. So it's not something that you're going to do and be like, okay, tomorrow I'll do that, Kathy, and then I'll let you know how it goes. No, this is something that does take time, and it takes a lot of self-reflection, and it takes putting work in kind of on yourself, so that you can accomplish this centering of your writing. So, this is what I teach in a lot of my free blog posts and my videos, right? But what I teach this process of centering your writing systematically inside my course, which is called the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap. And many of you have taken this course and have found it to be something that really helped you to do exactly what I'm talking about. Not letting your writing fall to the bottom of the list, putting it at the center, and then reorganizing your time and your energy around the writing instead of like trying to shove the writing into the edges of things. So Friday's my birthday. Yay. And so in honor of my birthday, I am doing a special flash sale of the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap course. This course is the price of the course is going to go up when I release it next, which is in May. So in May, the price of this course is going to be $200 more than it is right now. So you can get in the course. I'm opening the doors starting today. The registration closes Monday, for $200 off. So if you're on my email list, you got an email about this. I'm going to put it in the comments and in the description of the video after I get off. this video. But if you're interested in taking the course, you have a short window of opportunity to enroll, and we're going to get a little cohort together and go through the course. So a couple of things about the course, just in case you're like, oh my God, I can't do another thing. So this is a self-study course. There's different plans for how you finish it. You can take the long plan. You can take the short plan. You can take the, I'm buying it now, but I'm going to do it in May. I'm going to do it in the summer plan. But it is something that you do at your own pace. You get lifetime access, so you can go back and do it again as you refine this centering of your writing. I teach writing systems. I teach different ways to organize your schedule so that you have writing at the center. I teach pipeline management, year planning, 5-year planning. And so there's lots of, what I really try to do in that course is give you like all the wisdom, in a self-study video course that you can just start at the beginning and go to the end and learn how to say no and why to say no. And then not just like, everybody says like you should say no, but I really give you like a process for saying no, which it's helpful, I think, like you're not just saying no to everything that comes along, but it's more like there's like a process to how you, a reliable, system and process for saying no to things. Anyway, so the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap registration opens today, closes Monday night. And because Friday's my birthday, I am going to be donating $100 for each person who registers. I'm donated $100 to the Mayaguez Children's Library. So I'm just going to super quick tell you about that. So I live in Mayaguez, Puerto Rico, and that's Western Puerto Rico. I'm a professor at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayaguez, and we, as you can imagine, suffered quite a bit from Hurricane Maria. But also, we are continually suffering under colonialism from the United States. And we have particularly been feeling this with austerity measures that are being imposed by the U.S. appointed Fiscal Control Board onto Puerto Rico. So one of those things is cutting the budget of the university by almost 50%. There's other deep, deep, deep cuts. And another thing that has happened, it's a combined austerity measures plus Maria result, is that about 300 public schools in Puerto Rico have closed over the past 18 months or so. And so they close the public schools to save money, right? And then they're overloading the public school classrooms so that there's 30, 35 kids in the room. And so community organizations like the Mayaguez Children's Library become more and more important in times like these. So not only was the Mayaguez Children's Library like a community center that, because it's actually located in the middle of town, it's on the town square in Mayaguez, they had water and light before a lot of other places, like 2 months before most other places in Mayaguez did. And so they became a place where people went. They helped, the staff there were helping people fill out their FEMA forms. They were just providing a place that had light and bathrooms, for people to come, some kind of entertainment for their kids, right? Because there were no iPads, there was no videos. And so the kids would go and read. And it's really a community organization that's dedicated to promoting literacy in Western Puerto Rico, children's literacy. In addition to that, because we've had all these school closures and because we have these overflows in classrooms, there's a lot of pressure on the public schools. And Mayaguez Children's Library is actually trying to help relieve some of that pressure by offering tutoring and different programs for kids. They have a chess club they're trying to get started. They do reading. We have our local poet and film screenwriter who is a professor at our university, does puppet shows and different things there for the kids. And it's really like I think it's like an essential service. It's like a very important part of the Mayaguez community. And because of that, and this is my community and I really want to support them, they are doing a GoFundMe right now, by the way, which I'll also link up here. So if you want to just go give them $5 or $10, that would be amazing. They do a lot of grant writing, but most grants won't let them cover salary. And there's just been such deep budget cuts at both the local and national level in Puerto Rico that they just don't get a lot of government money. So they're looking for external funds for programming, but they can't pay staff with most of those grants. So their GoFundMe is really to keep staff, which also creates obviously jobs in this, in Western Puerto Rico and in this area that, post Maria plus austerity, we are starved for jobs, definitely. So if you enroll in this special enrollment period, it's my birthday sale, I'm calling it, my birthday flash sale of the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap course, not only do you get $200 off the registration price that you would have to pay if you register in May, which is the next time the course opens, you also get $100 of your registration. You can feel really good about that because it's going to get donated to the Mayagüez Children's Library. So I hope that you're having just a wonderful day. I know it's the middle of the week and it's the middle of the semester, and we often feel overwhelmed. Don't be shy to post in the group, because I think that one thing that does help is to know that everybody is feeling that way, or at least many people are feeling that way. And then we can give each other help to figure out, what's the best way to deal with those feelings of overwhelm at this part of the semester and get our writing done, because as I've been arguing, it is the most important thing. So if you're ready to take some concrete action, be systematic, learn new things, learn how to do academia in a better way instead of a way that is just about burnout, then please consider enrolling in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap for $200 off during this special flash sale, plus getting $100 of your registration donated to the Mayagüez Children's Library. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye.